This is the 2020 Breakout. And we gotta move those guys back farther. So, Harley in there, build it from the bottom up. Philosophy requires you to remove the seat to get the wiring, because those connectors are right under there. So first step is to get rid of the back seat, and then we're going to get rid of the front seat. That little bolt right there is the one that holds the back seat in place. I've already cracked it loose, and then you just lift it up and pull her back. Boom, back seat's off. Right, so front seat, pretty simple. There's 2 bolts right there, and then it's going to lift out. Here we go. Alright, bolts are gone. There's our seat, and we're just going to lift it up like that, and she's gone. Alright, according to the guru right there, he tells me that this is the connector for the license plate lights, and these 2 right here are your signal lights. We're going to have to unplug those, and then I'm going to take off these grab rails on the side here that are supporting the fender. Right there is the bolts, right there, and then I'm going to take the whole fender with me inside where it's warmer. Alright, here we go. Alright, so the Torx 45-bit takes out those bolts that were right here on the sides, and as you can see, got no seat and the fender is loose. I'll just see if I can grab her out of there. Yeah, it's just gonna slide back a little bit. Oh, looks like we got one clip here. Just give her a wiggle like that. It should come out. There we go. And that's it. She's free and clear. So now we're gonna take that fender and we're gonna take it inside. Oh. Instructions. Yeah, read those later. So, fender there, upside down. And as you can see, there's the signal light. No bolt on the inside. That's part of that rail. So, what we could have done, I guess, is we could have taken one side rail off at a time and not taken this whole fender off, but taking the fender off has made this super easy to get at, and I'm all about easy access. So an extra 2 bolts is really all it amounts to. Alright, let's get at her. Alright, so what you're looking at there is the inside of the fender. And here is the real reason I took it off, because you've seen the size of the tire on the back of a Breakout. So the tire is in there. It's not going to leave very much space for you to get your hand in there and take that bolt out, which is necessary because that is holding the bracket as well as the 2 bolts that you can see on the outside. Let's take this up. Let's see here. Alright, so bolts there, bolt there, and that's the bolt that's inside that you won't be able to get with that big ass tire in there. So pull the 2 outside, pull the inside, you're left with that. Here's the fender without the side bracket that holds that fender in place on the bike. There's the bolts for the bike where it attaches to the frame. Our connector's all there. You can see how they've ran it through a channel in the side all the way up to here. And there we go. That bolt right there is the next one you're going to want to take out. That is the one that actually holds the signal light in place. And for that, T40 to the rescue. Alright, let's get that bad boy out. Right, so because I want to try and keep it as close to the original as possible, there's a clip right here. I think you're intended to cut that, but if you look in the end, which you probably can't see because this video is probably not high enough quality, but there is a tab inside that keeps that zip tie together. That's how it works. Ratchets in, then locks. We're going to use the big tools and we're going to pop that lock. So there's the big tools, As you can see, not so big.
Okay guys, so this is the relocation kit. Just thought better go through this with you real quick. This is what you should have. So there's the part number for 2020 Breakout. These are the instructions. That's a quick, make it look like the picture. That is what you're going to shoot for. There you can see a bracket, the wiring coming through it. It's bolted on from the inside. Now, this is the bracket they're showing you. That is the signal light that's going to attach to it. I'm just going to feed the wire through this hole right here, and the bolt goes there. And that is going to attach like so. Let's see if we get that. Yeah, so just like that. So that's going to bolt on. I'm going to have signal light coming through there. Bolted on. Oh look, there's little holes. Look at that before. That is for the next piece. The next piece is this. It is a blocker bracket. So that goes on there. Goes on there like that. So you can see it just sits on there. Some nice little tiny screws that you can lose real easy. You know, make it interesting. Speaking of which, there's the tiny screws, a couple bolts, some washers. Of course, why not? Extra wire, because you're going to need to extend your wiring to get it all the way to the front again. Alright, let's get cracking. Okay, here's my signal light. That little piece right there is just squished by the long bolt that came out of there. That's that long guy right there. And my wiring is going through that bracket. And you can see that it's going to come out, going to go through there, that hole right there. And then we're going to bolt it together with a bolt right there. Alright, here we go. Now you can see the signal light bolted on to the extension that we're going to put onto our main support for that fender. And they got the wiring, they wanted it routed like that, and then over this end, which is going to go on there. So, here we go. Okay, bolted together, wire's coming out, wire comes along, wire goes through the main bracket. But guess what? Now you have to put on that blocker plate so that it hides this extension. You can't see the wiring, it's going to protect everything. And that's that one flat plate in your kit with those 3 tiny little screws. Alright, here we go. As you can see, starting to get that plate in place, but just because, why not? That is the tiniest little freaking Torx Allen that you're ever going to find, so I gotta go find one of those. Those are the screws that hold that plate in. Alright, be right back. Right, so, smaller than a T10. I don't have the proper sockets, so precision screwdriver, a little bit of machining on the end there. Now that fits into there. Alright, so what you're looking at is signal light harness connector. And you can see these little adhesive pad things. Managed to save all those. The wire runs through the original bracket. Bolted on with a new bolt that came in my kit. Got my backing plates tightened on. Got my signal light attached. It's even facing backward like it's supposed to. Amaze balls. Now, we gotta make that longer, because as you can see, it barely makes it past that bracket, and it's gotta make it to the middle of under the front seat. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these bad boys, and we are going to splice this wire. So we're gonna cut it in half right there, right about there, and we are going to use these. These are the cat's meow when it comes to connectors. These are crimp shrink tube butt end connectors. That's what you want. You just crimp the wire in there, heat it, and it shrinks, seals, it's weather tight. Great connection, you never have a problem. Okay, so let's do that. Right, so
there they are, crimped on. Now we just gotta heat them up so that they shrink. Just like that, see? This side shrunk, and you'll see there's some goo. You might not be able to see it. There is goo coming out of the end, and that is weather sealed. So now I'll just finish doing that one and do all the rest of these, and we'll be good to go. That's what I'm talking about. Weather sealed. No way that's getting any moisture in it. No corrosion. That'll be good for a long, long time. Right. There's the signal light on the extension bracket, on the original bracket, bolted back onto the Fender. And there's my weather-tight connections that you're not going to see because that's under the seat now. And then they've got some nice plastic loom. And then there's the other three weather-tight and the original connector. So, as you can see, this side is done ski. On to the B side. Alright, so we got the B side off. Same 3 bolts, the one that was right there, the 2 on the outside that you get to see. There is the back of the signal light already assembled on the extension and the regular bracket. And all tightened down. There's the wire running through all those sticky pads. I still have to attach the end because it needs to be longer so it'll reach. And that's what she's gonna look like, just like that. Now, the instructions said Loctite. You did Loctite everything. You didn't miss that step, right? I don't miss anything. Okay, license plate relocation is done. All you had to do is reassemble in the opposite order. Should be able to do that, and that's what it looks like right there. You can see there's now it's that much longer, and it looks like from the back. Whoop. Okay, we'll get the saddlebags in.